Okay, welcome everyone. This is Saturday Night Forum. Um, I know normally I have my brother Detroit Prepping on here with us, and my sister Cheshire Cat, and my brother Patriot 3%er, 3%. So, anyways, welcome y'all. I see we got Jericho and Fred out there in the chat already. Um, so what's going on with y'all?
Oh, nothing. Just living the dream.
Yeah, that's about it.
More like a nightmare.
Whichever.
Yeah.
Whatever your heart desires.
Hey, there's Gray.
Hey, Gray, you should, do you want to send him a link?
Can't fuck up.
Gray, do you want to join us tonight?
I guess my stuff's really blurry.
You do look a little distorted camera-wise.
Good old Arkansas internet.
Yep. Hey, what's up, Steve? Hey, Margot. Good to see you, hon.
Hey, Margot, what's going on?
Maybe give it a few minutes. Let people.
Hey, see.
I may have to like stop cam and mute here and there because I do have some work going on around the house right now, and not to mention if you saw right behind me, this place is a fucking mess. But
Gray, you can't join us tonight. That is too bad. We would love to have you. Oh dear.
Oh no. Stuck in the sand. Oh man. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Hey, at least you still have internet.
Gundox, I watched about the first half hour or so over on Sparky's channel and then jumped over here.
Now, you know what? I might go back and rewatch it, but I mean, honestly, what's the point? What is the point anymore?
Right.
You know, it's like the politics have taken over everything now. I mean, fucking everything.
Hey, Gundox, do you want to join us? Do you want to send him a link? Oh, wow. Gray.
Road and wow. That. Too bad you didn't have the M1 Abrams, huh? Just run right through them. Yeah, and I'm down with that. Like you guys have seen some of the news articles where people will block the streets or block the freeways, you know, and people plow through them. And I'm like, I don't blame you one bit. You know, screw them.
Maybe. Hey, you want to know what I think would be a great idea for tonight? You want to put on Trump's speech? While I'll watch it?
I don't know. Won't that give me a copyright?
I don't know. Sparky's doing it. Why can't you?
Well,
let's ask the crowd. All right. Yeah. Do you want me to put on that speech or what? I mean, I could do it. That won't be an issue. Hey, what's up, Pete? Good to see you, brother. Okay. Hey, Luciano. Good to see you too, man. All right. So, Gray, you okay? You want to try? Okay. I don't know. Do we really want to play the speech? I mean,
yes, let's do it. Let's play the speech for everybody. I mean, are we talking about anything constructive right now?
I don't know. I just don't want to get a copyright.
Well, Sparky's doing it.
I wonder who he's using.
Is he doing it on YouTube or?
You know what?
He's live streaming on YouTube right now, and he's live streaming the speech. So if he can do it, you can do it.
Let me text him and find out who he's using though, because I don't want to use Fox's video stream, and then like, you know, like, oh crap, you're get a strike on my channel or something because I'm listening to Trump. I mean, not saying I don't support Trump, because I do, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see what I can pull up here. Let's see. Oh, give that a like. Trump rally tonight. Okay, this is let's see here. Give me a second. I gotta pull it up.
We're supposed to protect them.
Okay.
Excuse me. How does that work? How does that work?
Okay, here we go, guys.
And the great thing is with Jim Inhofe and with James, okay, James Langford likewise, when they just said they love you, James. When they hear it, they get it. Get it.
All right, this is what I'm talking about.
They get it. We cannot continue to be ripped off. We're ripped off by so many countries.
Hi,
and we're
Rhonda.
stopping it. And that means that a lot of people don't want me here. They don't want me here. There are a lot of people that don't want me here.
That's
You know,
true.
they don't sell a lot of bombs when we're not dropping bombs on people. You know that. Well, the military-industrial complex. When rioting and looting broke out in our nation's capital, I very quickly deployed the National Guard. I said, get them in. After watching for an evening or two, we stopped the violence and restored peace and order to the streets. And last night they had a little breakout again. They ripped down a statue that was 110 years old.
I hate that.
A piece of art in front of the police precinct with our radical left mayor watching on television. We're not happy. That's going to be very expensive for DC. They're always looking for money. We need more money. We always need more money. And then they don't do the proper job. So it's not going to be good for Mayor Bowser. Mayor Bowser. They're heading over to the Jefferson Memorial recently. And they wanted to do damage to our great, beautiful Jefferson Memorial. Not going to happen. Don't worry about it.
No, man, they better not.
We have it surrounded with very strong. The choice in 220 is very simple. Do you want to bow before the left-wing mob? Or do you want to stand up tall and proud as Americans? And explain this to the NFL. I like the NFL. I like Roger Goodell, but I didn't like what he said a week ago. I said, where did that come from in the middle
Hey,
of
Miss Mary.
summer? Nobody's even asking. We will never kneel to our national anthem or our great American flag. We will stand proud and we will stand tall. I thought we won that battle with the NFL. The stadiums were emptying out. Did you see those stadiums? Took them a long time to get you back. A lot of people didn't like that. You know, a lot of people that you wouldn't even think would care that much. I've had people that I said, these are super left liberals, and they didn't like it.
They're idiots.
Biden and the Democrats want to prosecute Americans for going to church, but not for burning a church.
Yeah, good point, man.
They believe you can riot, vandalize, and destroy, but you cannot attend a peaceful pro-America rally. They want to punish your thought, but not their violent crimes. They want to abolish bail, abolish and open up your borders. They want open borders, let everyone, and by the way, we're doing so well. We have a record this month on the borders. Nobody's coming in.
Really?
Very few people.
Yeah, nobody does cover them.
And they want to abolish ICE. Our great people from ICE who send the roughest, toughest, meanest people that you've ever seen or ever heard generally speaking, when they have lots of tattoos on their face, they're not looking to do you much help. Ice.
Yeah.
They're rough. They're
Right,
great
Fred.
Americans. They're rough. But they come in a pack. They walk into a pack of tough MS-13 gang members. And you know, we shouldn't say this, it's not nice. They want us to negotiate. They start swinging, and the others start swinging. Everybody's swinging. At the end, they carry him back and they throw him into the paddy wagon. Right? They're great. And these people want to get rid of ICE. They get rid of murderers. They get rid of rapists. They get rid of the worst scum on earth. And when I called them animals, I said they're animals. And Nancy Pelosi, they cut up a young woman. They cut up a young woman and her friend cut them up with a knife because it was more painful, dead. Cut them up with a knife because it's more painful taking one dead than shooting a guy. They cut them up. I said, these are animals. And Nancy Pelosi said, these are human beings, they're not animals. If I lose an election over that, you know what? This country's in big trouble.
We're already in big trouble there,
They
Trump.
want to disarm law-abiding citizens and dismantle our police forces while freeing vicious MS-13 gang members. In Joe Biden's America, rioters, looters, and criminal aliens have more rights than law-abiding citizens, and that's true.
Disgusting, too.
In my administration, we defend American citizens and we deport MS-13 members. Or put them in jail if we have to.
Execute them.
The chaos you're seeing in our Democratic-run cities, these are all run by the Democrats, is what will happen in every city and community in America, and much, much worse if we don't keep them out. We have to do this. We have to go to the polls.
What happened to the sound? Patriot, are you there?
He was a senator. He was a vice president. He was before that something. Guy, you know what's great? President Trump was tough on this, or he was tough. They complained. He never did anything about it. He's been there for 43 years or 47 years. He never did anything about it. Biden supported every globalist attack on the American worker. Let's make every country in the world rich but ourselves, including NAFTA, the disaster of NAFTA. He wanted to go, and TPP would have ruined our automobile industry. Korea, I renegotiated the deal. I took a horrible deal. That was a Hillary Clinton special. She said, we have to make this deal with South Korea. It's going to mean 250,000 jobs. And she was right. For South Korea, 250,000 jobs. And China's entry into the World Trade Organization was supported by Sleepy Joe Biden. That was one of the worst deals economically in the history of our country. When China joined the World Trade Organization, they were flatlined for decades. They became like a rocket ship. He voted for the war in Iraq. He voted for mass amnesty for illegal aliens. He supports sanctuary cities, and now Biden wants to end immigration enforcement and he wants to require you to provide free health care for millions and millions of illegal aliens, okay? When I took early and decisive action to ban travel from China and protect Americans from the virus, and as I said, Joe Biden opposed my decision and called it hysteria, xenophobia. He doesn't know what the word means, xenophobia, and fear-mongering. And then he apologized a month later. He said he was wrong, but he didn't say it. And they didn't cover it. On one of the single most important policy decisions of our life, Joe Biden sided with China over America. That's closing the border. He thought it was a terrible thing.
Hey, Jericho.
Remember, this was in January. That's early, real early, the end of January. He thought it was a terrible thing when we closed the border to many people that were badly infected with COVID. When the chips are down, Biden will always cave to the radical left. He'll always bow to the angry mob, and he will never protect you or your family, and you know that.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Biden will always let you down. That's been his history. At my direction early this year, the heroes of the U.S. military took out the world's top terrorist, the savage killer and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, and the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world, Qasem Soleimani. We took him out. Joe Biden opposed killing Soleimani. He was vehemently, we killed this #1 terrorist. He didn't like it. You know why he didn't like it? Because he thought it would be politically. That didn't work out too well. Just as he opposed the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. He opposed it. You know that. Biden is always on the wrong side of history, as said by people that are with him and worked with him. He never made a correct foreign policy decision. Biden is a puppet for China.
What's up, Eric?
He walked out with 1.5 billion.
Hey, Brassard.
Allowing them to rip off America for many years. Now they're paying us billions and billions of dollars. We give a lot of it to our farmers. We have plenty left over. China's not exactly happy with me. Billions. They pay us billions and billions of dollars. And they targeted our great farmers. And I took the money that they targeted. I took that money and I gave it to the farmers, so they were even. So they're okay. Are you okay? Come. Doctor, please. Doctor. Thank you. These people, I mean, some of the people are waiting for 5 days, especially in this location, right? You take your time, Dolly. Take your time. Thank you very much. Take your time. Doctor, thank you, doctor. Now, some people wait for 4 or 5 days. It's incredible. He never did anything against China, Joe Biden. And that's why they desperately want him to win. They want him to win so badly. Iran wants him to win so badly. Let me tell you, I'm going to make a very fast deal, the best deal you've ever seen. I've already made one with China, but I can make even more. They want me to lose because they will own the United States if I lose.
Oh, my God.
President Obama gave them $150 billion for nothing. And almost more incredibly, he gave them $1.8 billion in green cash, beautiful cash. And now they're not doing so well, are they? They're not doing so well. Someday we're going to get credit for this. Someday. But they are waiting. Iran wants to make a deal so badly. But they're told by Kerry and all these other, they shouldn't, the Logan Act. But they're told by Kerry and all these people, wait, because if Trump loses, you'll own America. You're going to own it. They'll say you own it. So I don't mind. I told them, we can wait. But when I win, you're going to pay a much higher price than if you made a deal now. Sure. Sure, told them. I told him. And look what happened to Biden in Ukraine, where his son's paid $83,000 a month and he was jobless. Give me a break. $83,000 a month, more than anybody. If Joe Biden were to become president, an emboldened left will launch a full-scale assault on American life. You know that. They'll expel anyone who disagrees with them. Look what happens when you disagree. You use a term that's perfect and they're not happy with it. They call you a racist. They call you a horrible person. They want to crush religious liberty. They don't want religion. Silence religious believers. Indoctrinate your children with hateful and vicious lies about our country. Subsidize late-term abortion and after-birth execution. They want to take away your guns through the repeal of your Second Amendment as sure as you're sitting there. In fact, he even put the big gun grabber, Beto O'Rourke, who made a fool out of himself when he ran for president. They put him in charge of guns. Lots of luck on your Second Amendment. Just remember I said it. Hopefully you won't have to think back about it too much because it won't matter. Hopefully it won't matter. No, Beto O'Rourke, who wants to give up guns, is in charge of the Second Amendment. The Dems will also eliminate private health insurance, ban fracking. That's not good. And American energy will be in a position of weakness like it's never been before. And that's after we built the greatest energy country anywhere in the world by far. And they want to appoint Supreme Court justices who will utterly obliterate your Constitution. And you now see how important the Supreme Court is. Think if we didn't have two justices that I think have been very, very, very good. But think how important it is. Think how important it is. And we still, I guess it's, I don't know if it's an equal court. It's almost like we're a minority court, right? It's almost like we're a minority court.
Yeah.
The recent Supreme Court cases prove that if Joe Biden is elected, he will stack the court with extremists and the forgotten men and women. Together with everyone else, we'll lose everything. The forgotten men and women. I campaigned on the forgotten. These are great people. These are substantial people. These are the elite. By the way, you're the elite. They're not the elite. You're the elite.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for pointing that out. We the people.
Somebody 2 days ago said, sir, the elite are really working hard on trying to destroy you. And I said, yeah. Why do you call them the elite? I said, yeah. Well, they're not elite. I look better than them. Much more handsome. Got better hair than they do. I got nicer properties. I got nicer houses. I got nicer apartments. I got nicer everything. I ran for politics once, just once in my life, and I became president of the United States.
Amen.
And hopefully, if you get out and vote, we'll do it one more time. We won't even toy with them about 3 or 4 more times. We won't. We'll do it one more time. We'll be 2 for 2, and our country will never, ever be stronger. But I'll be soon announcing a new list of exceptional candidates for the United States Supreme Court. And I'll choose only from that list 100%, probably 25 incredible people, any one of which could be a great justice, any one of which. And I did it last time, and people loved when I did it. And I'll only pick from that list. Biden can't release his list because the names would be too extreme, too radical. They wouldn't be acceptable, but they will be very radical people. People don't understand. But we actually won on DACA yesterday. We actually won because they basically said, you won, but you have to come back and redo it. It's almost like, gee, come on back. Your paperwork was no good. But we're going to be refiling, but don't let it get you. Everything's going to work out really good. Everything's going to work out.
Hey, Eagle.
It was great. I mean, it would have been nice if we won it. Everybody said, oh, you're going to win DACA. You're going to win DACA. That's easy. You got to win DACA. That's easy. They all said it. And they came back and they said, we don't like what you did with your paperwork, essentially, right? So we're refiling it. Most people would say, oh, we lost. We're going to refile it. And everything is going to work out for the young people, most of whom aren't so young anymore, by the way. But we're going to work it out for everybody. Biden is fully controlled by the fringe of his party. He is their pawn. He doesn't even know where the hell he is, let's face it. He installed socialists, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, God.
To be in charge of his environmental policy and his energy. You can forget petroleum. How does Oklahoma feel about being petroleum free? Not good, right? Our country will have no energy. Our country will have nothing. Oklahoma, Texas, North Dakota, and many others will all be out of business. I don't think that's going to work out too well, but she's actually in charge of environmental policy. And you know what that means. She doesn't even want wind. She doesn't want those bird-killing machines to go round and round. You want to see a lot of birds that are dead go under a windmill sometime. She wants us to go back to the Stone Ages because she's got no sense, no credentials. She's got a little charisma, not much, but she doesn't have a clue. You know it. But she's in charge of the environment. No airplanes. We can forget Boeing, I guess, come to think of it, right? We talked about Boeing. We can forget Boeing. Let's cancel those brand new Air Force Ones, right? Likewise, Representative Ilhan Omar.
This squad. The freaking squad. Bunch of
Is going to be very much involved in a Biden government. They will put this hate-filled, America-bashing socialist front and center in deciding the fate of your family and deciding the fate of your country. I don't think so. She would like
Lodestar. That's funny, John.
just like the country from where she came. Somalia, no government, no safety, no police, no nothing, just anarchy. And now she's telling us how to run our country. No, thank you. And I think we're going to have a big victory in the state of Minnesota because they've had it.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too. Yeah. I think Minnesota is probably going to turn red after this.
Trojan horse for socialism. When Biden first ran for president over 33 years ago, remember I used to call him 1% Joe. He never got more than 1%. Until Obama took him off the trash heap. But he blatantly copied the speech of a British politician, even ripping off the man's personal biography and family history and claiming it was his own. He forgot to say he was born in America. Joe Biden is a shameless hypocrite. Since 2003, he has delivered fawning eulogies to the funerals and at those funerals of 3 leading supporters of segregation, including a former member of the KKK. And yet Biden is now smearing as racist tens of millions of people like yourself, decent, hardworking Americans who he's never met, and he frankly probably doesn't want to meet. America should not take lectures on racial justice from Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe. A man who praised and partnered with segregationists, shipped millions of Black American jobs overseas and everyone else's jobs too, by the way. If I didn't come along, we're building auto plants, we're building everything. And there's never been a comeback like we're making right now. Never been. He hollowed out our middle class, including our black middle class, with open borders, trapped young children in failing government schools, built cages. Those cages were built by Obama and Biden. Look it up, 2014. And the fake news doesn't want to remember the picture of a cage for children. Remember the picture of the cage? And they said, President Trump. And then they realized that was in a newspaper, 2014, the same, built by Obama and Biden, the cages. And they don't want to report the way it is. They know the way it is. They're not stupid. They send
Luciano.
While the inner cities crumble, help the big banks while hammering community leaders, and made our cities less safe and secure for all. They've done a terrible job, and they shouldn't be awarded. They should not get rewarded with an election victory on November 3rd. It shouldn't happen. It'll destroy this country. Our country will be destroyed.
Yep.
We've all worked too hard. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Some do, actually.
Hey, New York. What's going on, brother?
Virtually every policy that has hurt Black Americans, Joe Biden has supported or enacted. I've done more for the Black community in 4 years than Joe Biden has done in 47 years.
Amen. Preach on, man.
Racial justice begins with Joe Biden's retirement from public life. We are joined tonight by many outstanding Republican leaders. These are great people. We have two of our most distinguished, hardworking, wonderful friends, senators. They do a great job. Senator Jim Inhofe and James Lankford, please stand up. Two very respected, I will tell you, two very respected people in Washington. They're respected by everybody. They do some job, and I'd have you come up, but you can relax. I will say this, Jim is running on November 3rd, Jim Inhofe. He's running on November 3rd. I don't even know, hey James, does he have any competition? Is somebody actually running against? There's no competition that he's got. I know he's got James's support. He's got my support. I give him 100% endorsement. Jim Inhofe.
Hey, Rooster.
I give it to James too, but he's not running this time. Thank you, Jim. Great job. Thank you very much. What a great senator he is. Also here is a man who's respected by so many. He's a little bit right of the people we've been talking about tonight. Senator Tom Cotton of the great state of Arkansas.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah, there you go. Patriot. That's your man.
Thank you, Tom. They like you people. Thank you, Tom. Great job you're doing. We're glad to be joined as well by a man that I've gotten to know. He's done an incredible job with COVID and with everything else he touches. Governor Kevin Stitt.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Detroit?
Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell.
I finally made it, Dangerous.
Yeah, we're watching the president, man.
And
I see.
Tom Cole, he's been here for a little while. He's done an incredible job. Mark Wayne Mullen, you don't want to fight. I want to put him and Jim Jordan in a match together. Kevin Hearn, great job today. The great Jim Jordan.
Yeah, Jim Jordan's good, too. I like him.
police act.
You know, it's good to know we do have patriots in our.
Then.
Good to know that we do have patriots in our government. But man, there's so few. And
Tom Emmer. Tom, thank you.
That's the way it seems.
Warriors, folks. These are great warriors. During the fake impeachment trial, I'll tell you what, there was nobody that could have done the job they've done. That includes the Senate and the House. These people are incredible. David Kutzoff. David. A great friend of mine, Debbie Lesko, Arizona. Great job, Debbie. Great job. And a man who's got very good genes, Greg Pence. Thank you all. Great job. They're great. They are. They're warriors. I'll tell you what. Not every person is, but this group is, and we have a lot of them in Washington. And we'll send Jim Inhofe back, and we'll send all of them. We'll send every one of them. They have to come back because they have been fighting for us, and they've been fighting for you. And they are just incredible, talented, tough, strong people that love your state a lot. So thank you very much. So we built the greatest single economy in the world. And then we say, not only the world, but actually in the history of the world, and they never even challenged me, so I guess I'm right. We did it. We had the best numbers anybody's ever had. We had the best employment numbers. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American.
Dangerous, we can't hear it.
Everybody would come
They
in.
muted.
Presidents, prime minister, kings, queens, and dictators.
you're going to hear some drilling going on in the background.
That's fine.
Regulations on the economy. And then the play came in, and we're doing it, and it's going fast. We have to have a lot of it done because people don't quite get it. We're doing record business. It's happening at a level and a speed that nobody can believe. 2 weeks ago, job numbers came in. The single biggest number in the history of our country. Last week, retail sales numbers came in. Retail sales, the single greatest number in the history of our country. So here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. They blame a president for anything. When you see looters, even though we put them down, if we didn't stop them, nobody will, because the other side will never stop them. But they always blame the president. Here's what's happening. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up, we're going to go up, then we're going to hit October. We're going to be up. We're going to be way up. We're not going to be where we were, but in many ways, other than all of the horrible, horrible death that was so needlessly caused by
Billy.
that should have been stopped where it originated, which was China.
Sorry, brother.
Oh, we love China.
We're going to go up, 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 August, September, October. And people are going to say, man, this guy's doing a good job. He knows what he's doing. I don't believe the fake news anymore. And you're not going to want to lose your 401k.
Arizona.
You're not going to want to lose all of that wealth that you've accumulated.
No fracking going on.
Any wealth you can think of, it'll all come tumbling down if these people are put in charge and if they double and triple and quadruple your taxes.
Hey,
It's a
Philip.
whole different ballgame. So I'm not putting any pressure on anybody. But in the end, we're going to have a phenomenal economy. And next year, we're going to have a good third quarter. But next year, and I said it before, will be the
Yeah.
single
Eric.
greatest
Oh, yeah.
year economically that we've ever had. Okay?
Yeah, we're all pissed at China. We're all pissed at China. Made in the
And if you
USA.
see that happening, if you
Made in
see
USA.
it happening on November 3rd, you don't have the guts to vote against Trump. Even you don't have the guts to vote against Trump.
Oh,
wait a minute, darling.
good.
My
Good for you,
401k is
Philip.
higher than it was the last time. I don't think I want to take a chance. You're not going to want to do that. The stock market has been the best. Think of this.
Eh,
Go back 1 week and go back in that 50-day period. It's the strongest 50 days in the history of the stock market.
well, because they're pumping cash in there. I mean,
And your wife or your husband says, darling, I love you so much. You are such a great investor. And all you did is just keep the
Lone Star.
darling, I love you.
Damn it! Don't give me away, John.
You're a middle loser. You've always lost money. But now under President Trump, you're one of the greatest financial minds in our country. And all you did was keep your stock. Now, if you think you're going to run against them, they're going crazy. They want the stock market to go down, even if it costs them money. They want the stock market to go down, even if it costs them money. And they don't even know why. You know what? They're smart and they're vicious, but they don't know why. I'm telling you, they don't know why. What's wrong with having the strongest military brand new in the world all been there? What's wrong with having these great economic numbers? What's wrong with having to close it down? We saved millions of lives. You know, a lot of people say we should have gone herd. Let's go herd. Ask them, how are they doing in Brazil? He's a great friend of mine. Not good. You heard about Sweden, right? Too much. Ask them how they doing in Sweden. We saved millions of lives, and now it's time to open up, get back to work. Okay? Get back to work.
Amen. I'm done with that.
I recently signed groundbreaking criminal justice reform. I secured record and permanent funding for historically black colleges and universities. We slashed regulations and passed massive tax cuts to give black workers a pay raise like they've never, ever gotten before and lift up black-owned businesses. And I worked closely with a great senator also, a friend of theirs, Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina, to create opportunity zones, which are doing incredibly.
Yeah,
It's
Rooster.
created
Yeah.
countless jobs and $100 billion of new investment, not government investment, have poured into 9,000 of our most distressed neighborhoods anywhere in the country. 9,000. Never happened before.
Yeah. Take our guns and let all the criminals out. Yeah, that's really genius.
That I have directed Secretary of the Interior David Bernhardt to place the John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park here in Tulsa on the African American Civil Rights Network. So many of my friends have been asking me to do that. So many of my friends, including these great politicians. So we're going to do that. It'll be done very quickly. We will forever remember and honor the courageous people who
I
have
gotta say, Dangerous Freedom, man.
in this
Who
country.
the hell wants to be called African American, man?
In order to decades,
Yeah, just call me American.
jobs,
Yeah, I'll be good with that. You don't have to
amazing
Africanize
public schools,
or Europeanize or
Or Mexicanized.
and math. I think the numbers are worse than that. But Democrats would rather deny these children the future they deserve than allow them to attend the charter, public, private, religious, or independent schools of their choice. Pro-choice. Pro-choice. Pro-choice for schools. It's very popular, but some people it's like a disaster because what it does to certain unions that have a lot of power over the Democrats, even though they know it's wrong. Republicans believe access to education is a civil right. It's a civil right. 20 of the most dangerous cities in America are controlled by Democrats. Think of that. 20 of 20. And so is nearly every major city with a child poverty rate that's over 30%. They're controlled by Democrats. We can name every one of them. The murder rate in Baltimore and Detroit is higher than El Salvador, Guatemala, or even the Democrats running those cities. Your whole country will be like that. In 2018 alone, our police arrested nearly 12,000 people for murder and manslaughter, 25,000 people for rape, and nearly 1.5 million for assault, violent assault. The Democrats' push against our police will drive up crime and drive up costs at levels you've never
Oh
seen.
man, yeah,
Thousands of innocent lives will be lost.
dude, yeah.
As
If the
president, I will always support the incredible men and women of law.
shit, we lost Billy again.
Hopefully he'll pop back in here in a little bit.
Is a vote for better schools, better jobs, safer families, and stronger communities for all Americans. There's a limit to what we can together achieve with 4 more years.
Amen. Yeah, I'll cheers to that one. Yep, Trump's got this in the bag.
We will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. And that was happening at a level that nobody ever thought they'd see. It was happening before this COVID came in. It was happening at a level that nobody believed possible. And then China.
Eric, yeah, you got
We will
it.
protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors, and will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Always, always. We will appoint more judges to interpret the Constitution as written. We will end deadly sanctuary cities. We will finish the wall, which has now 212 miles built and beautiful. 212 miles. That's a lot of miles. And let me tell you, you think that was an easy one? That was a tough one. That party was totally unified against building the wall.
Oh yeah, he'll come
In
back.
the end, they
He'll
gave
come
up.
back,
You know what
Cheshire.
happened? They realized it was a bad issue for them because these open borders. I love when they fight for open borders because anybody.
Last I heard, King in Arizona, yeah, he's still alive.
From rough areas, there's something wrong with those people.
What the hell, man? I'm losing viewers, and all I'm doing is playing the Trump speech. I know my people are not Democrats. Ah, crap, internet gone. Shit.
I wonder, do you have more independents or more Republicans on your channel?
That puts America.
Probably more libertarian. I would say libertarian.
Our cities and we will build
Yeah, if we could get rid of the Republican and Democrat Party, I would be okay with that. Although
we will enact new trade
we
deals
have to restore our
that result in more
republic, though.
products. Proudly stand with that
Long
beautiful
overdue.
phrase,
Long live the
made in
republic.
USA. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, made in the USA. I'm good with that.
Made in the USA.
Oh, there he
It's
is. Okay.
happening too. We have so many plants coming into Michigan and so many other states. We have car plants coming in would have never
Oh, there
come.
you are.
Would have never come. We will become the world's premier pharmacy, drugstore, and medical manufacturer. That's already started. We're bringing it there. We will keep America out of foolish, stupid, ridiculous foreign wars. We will never hesitate
Amen.
to kill America's terrorist enemies.
Man, how
When
did
I
you do
took
this?
over, ISIS was all over the place.
Yep, not anymore.
And I did something that I felt we should do.
Mother of all
We have
bombs.
now obliterated. We have now captured 100% of the ISIS caliphate. 100.
Right on, Luciano.
And like our depleted military when I took over, like our empty shelves medically when I took over, like all of the things that when I took over, it was a mess. We have done a job. You had to see what ISIS was doing. They were getting bigger. That came in slow. We've just taken 100%. We will launch a new age of American ambition in space, and the United States will be the first nation to land on Mars. Good program. You saw the beautiful rocket 3 weeks ago go up. Beautiful. We will defend privacy, free thought, free speech, religious liberty, and the right to keep and bear arms.
But not bump stocks or anything that our military owns.
Yeah.
And when you see those lunatics all over the streets, it's damn nice
Yeah.
to have arms. Damn nice. Interesting how all of a sudden people understand it, right? You couldn't sell it. Now people understand it. The right to keep and bear arms will protect your Second Amendment. Above all, we will never stop fighting for the sacred values that bind us together as one America. We will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We uphold the principle of equal justice under the law. We believe in the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the true American way.
How does he do that, Roger?
I believe that children should be taught
I can't imagine.
country, honor our
Absolutely,
history,
Luciano.
and always salute our great American flag.
This right here is justice.
And we live by the words
This is
of our
Abby.
national motto. It will never change. In God we trust. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the ocean, blazed the trails, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, dug out the Panama Canal, laid down the railroad, revolutionized industry.
Hey, dangerous.
World
Yeah.
wars,
You think that no matter what you believe, atheist or whatever, when you make it to an age that's older than your father, you start to believe in God?
we
Hold on.
and greater every single day.
Hold on. Let me turn him down just a little bit.
Proud citizens like you help build this country. And together,
Oh yeah. What was that, Roger?
I was just wondering if you think atheists, people that profess that they don't believe in God, stuff like that,
your help,
get to an age in their life where they think that nothing is keeping them alive but God. They start to, think, hey, I made it to be older than my father, or to the age when my father died, and everything kind of turns to it's in God's hands now. Is there like an awakening most people go through at some point, like when you wake up from teenage games and realize the world is a lot different than you thought it was?
I would think it's more like the whole terminology. There's no atheists in a foxhole. Once you've been in it long enough, you learn faith. You learn faith because most of we started off like, oh yeah, everything life just comes easy, but as you get older and you realize life is not as easy as you thought.
America safe again.
All right,
We will make America great again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, President Trump. God bless you.
God bless
Oh,
America.
America is great, and it's always been great. You
Yes.
can't make it great again. For all its bads, there's been so much more that
Hey,
was
man.
good. I wouldn't trade it all to go any other route, man.
America is the greatest country in the world. The
Yeah,
greatest country in human history.
So far.
And
You know,
we're,
and for all the bad, I mean, and there's bad that in everything. But in human history,
that happens
the United
every day.
States of America is the greatest country in the world. And if you want to, if people need to consider what's going on in other places in the world and also how the world has been historically and what the United States is now, where it stands. You can't even compare it.
For the average man that wakes up in America, you're doing better than what? 75% of the world? 98% of the
Absolutely.
world?
Yes. And not only that, but better than the whole world has ever done in history.
yep.
Yeah. I would dare to say that every American today lives better than any king or queen did only a century ago.
Eric
mean-
Schnault, na zdrowie.
I can't imagine living in a giant castle and shitting in buckets and well, I guess
Yeah.
I can because when I first bought my house, that's what I did. But I couldn't imagine living my whole life doing that. And as good as, like I said, the average American has it, man,
Yep.
I wouldn't trade it for a chance at too much of anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know about you guys, Patriot 3%er. You got us muted out so we can't hear you screaming and yelling.
I know, right?
He's doing something. He might still be listening to. Oh, there he is.
Probably shooting in his
I'm here.
backyard.
I'm here. I'm trying not to kick holes in the walls and stuff like that because of stupid internet.
Ah.
I mean, I'm sitting there. I've got a couple of boosters, on this. I guess I'm gonna just end up having to run a damn cable out here to my shop building, man. It sucks, but
Hang in Arizona, the United States, especially the industrial infrastructure, was mainly built by the Irish.
Lone Star, man, that's a long, long video, but I'll go through some of it real quick. What do I think about their involvement? I think it was chicken shit. I think it's made for TV. I think fucking if you're gonna come burn down my broke ass neighborhood, you're a fucking asshole. I hate you. I wish you would go burn up your neighborhood. I wish you would gather everybody up on buses and take them to the fucking Capitol building and burn that shit down and not the Piggly Wiggly on the corner and not the gas station I gotta fill my gas cans up at. And if anybody seriously thinks that BLM or Antifa is a movement, I'll grant them that it is a movement, but it's a movement I would never want to be associated with. And if you sat and professed your association with those movements or groups or whatever we want to call them, I'd think you were an idiot and I'd probably not want to try to talk to you any more than I had to.
I had a movement earlier.
It's, one of those things, Lone Star, man. It's not doing me any good. It's not doing you any good. It's not doing anybody I know any good. All it's doing is showing the worst that those people have to offer. And whoever those people are, that's what I'm talking about. All those people. Antifa, BLM, membership, whatever, whoever that is, they're absolutely horrible and despicable people, and I
Yeah.
hope they don't ever get their way.
Well, if they do get their way, we're all going to suffer for it.
Oh man, big time.
We're going to
Oh,
suffer in ways that we can't even imagine.
We're
now,
suffering.
I've already made the decision, Cheshire. If it comes down to it, they're gonna have to take my life first. Period. I'm not gonna live as a slave like they want us to. Not happening. Not with me.
Agreed.
And I bet everybody in the chat would agree with me. Now, you better take my life because I am not gonna be a fucking slave.
Are you trying to say you wouldn't kneel? You're not going to get on your knee for anybody?
I will get on my knee when I see Jesus coming down from heaven. Period. That's the only
You
time.
know what I mean? Hey, at gunpoint with a gun in my face and nobody around to break it up or slow it down. You probably get some kneeling out of me or something, but
But you might have, but Roger, you might have
I'm not
somebody.
gonna kneel down for a stupid notion that you made up in your fucking head.
Yeah,
And
but you know what, Roger? Maybe
that's how
I'm
bad
right
I
off.
am.
So when they pull a gun on you, I'm gonna shoot them in the fucking head. Just saying.
Well, I mean, I hope all those things are true, but like I said, as far as kneeling goes, I'm sure someone could compel me to kneel at gunpoint. Besides that, I ain't got nothing to apologize for. I don't have nothing to gain from anybody's apology of things that happened long before I was born. If Uncle Sam wants to mail me a check, he knows my address. He doesn't have to ask me permission. I'd be happy with just not having to pay all the unjust taxes, fees, licenses, insurances, and everything else. I mean, I don't need anything from him, but I do need him to stop taking all my money for himself. That's to Uncle Sam.
Mhm.
Well, I think that one of the biggest problems is that when you start, with, well, let's just say the BLM or Antifa, you start these certain movements. You know, the whole thing about Black Lives Matter. Well, who would disagree with that? White Lives Matter. I mean, you know what I'm saying? All lives matter. So,
Yeah,
but when you get focused in on a certain thing, it comes down to you start getting these ideas in your head that you get so focused on it. And what I'm seeing is these people are getting so focused in on one little deal that it doesn't matter. I mean, like, it doesn't matter at all what you say, what you do. They are telling people that you are prejudiced or you are racist and you don't even know it. And it's like, well, how does that make any sense? Man, it's insane, dude. I don't know, man.
This is where I'm
These
at as far as the Black Lives Matter movement. What's really interesting about the Black Lives Matter movement is that it seems like Black lives only seem to matter whenever it fits their agenda. So Black lives don't matter when they're being gunned down with no cameras rolling in the rough neighborhoods. And they don't seem to matter when it's a Black cop that gets gunned down by another Black man. They don't seem to matter when it's a Black woman being murdered by a Black man. It doesn't seem to matter. It only matters when a white cop kneels on his neck, or if a white cop shoots him because he ripped the cop's taser out. And, it only seems to matter sometimes. And I can't take that movement seriously because they really don't mean that Black lives matter. They only matter sometimes. And in this case, it only matters if they can use the agenda to push a socialist communist agenda. And that's it.
Well,
I'll
right.
You what,
And
the greatest video. I guess they had a meeting in the Chad zone. Chad, is that his name?
Oh, the Chaz. The
Yeah.
Chaz.
And they asked everybody to give a black person $10. Was that?
Mhm.
It was the greatest stupid thing I ever seen in my fucking life. And anybody that would stand around in a circle and listen to that dumb shit should mail Detroit Preppin' $10, post office box 1237, Detroit, Michigan. It'll get to me. I promise you. I mean, what kind of fucking message is that, dude? Fucking give a black person what do I get,
Well,
$5?
did you see the speech that dumbass made before?
No,
You know,
I
he
just
asked
saw that
the
video.
speech he made was if he said to white people, if you're not willing to give $10, then if you're not willing to give $10, then you're not going to be willing to give up all of your property, all of your savings, all of your inheritance, all of the wealth that you built up. And that's what they're actually going to be going for. They're going to be actually going for reappropriation of property. They're going to racially take people's property rights away and redistribute it.
Dangerous freedom shit.
When I was watching that video, it was infuriating, but you could see where they're actually going with it.
Oh, it was pretty crazy. I didn't want to watch anymore. I thought that was a stupid. I'm like, who the fuck's gonna follow this fucking douchebag or whatever? I mean, I don't language I know, but I mean, give me a fucking break, dude. This is what this guy's talking about, passing out $10.
Do you think it's pretty?
Yeah, right. How black do you have to be to get reparations? That is so stupid. I heard that California just voted on a committee for reparations too. I don't remember who put that in the chat earlier. Somebody did. California voted in a reparations committee. Are you freaking kidding me now? A reparations committee.
Okay, so reparations for who? So, like, let's say you're half black and half white. You only get 50% reparations.
Hey,
or if you're 1% black and you're 99% white, you get 1%.
What you know? What I grew up.
It's gonna be how it goes. You're gonna have to get it
right. And who are they going to take it from? Are they going to genetically track every descendant of slaveholders down? I mean, what if they find a black person who's the descendant of a black slaveholder? Is that going to cancel out their reparation payment? How is this going to work?
We'll have to debate that in Congress. What? I'll tell you what. If they ever send me a check for anything, I ain't gonna not cash it.
Yeah, brass.
Well, okay,
honest. 0.2%.
Hey, I mean, how stupid do they want to be? They're only giving me back my freaking money, and they're not giving me all my money back.
Yeah,
the government can mail me a check for $200 a month for the rest of my life, and they wouldn't have given me all my money back.
Yeah, they'll take all your money, but they'll give you.
So you guys, and this is how racist this movement is getting, and this is crazy. So I pulled this off of Facebook, and by the way, when I've been on Facebook, I've had comments removed for lesser reasons than this. But somebody actually reported this comment, and it was not removed because it did not violate community guidelines. And I'm going to read it to you guys, and this is interesting. So this guy posted, "If I had the power to do so, I would have gallows built in rows at the White House in Washington, D.C., for example, as many as traffic allows. Then white people will be hanged indiscriminately, and they will remain hanging until they stink. They will hang there as long as the principles of hygiene permit. As soon as they have been untied, the next batch will be strung up, and so on down the line until the last white person in our nation's capital has been exterminated. Other cities will follow suit precisely in this fashion until all of America has been completely cleansed of whiteness." And the screenshot is that it's been reported and that was found to have not violated the community guidelines. This is just genocidal.
It's going to be an empty fucking country if all the white people die.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking, what do they call that shit? Indian pasture land again?
Yeah, I don't even know what that will be.
Well,
I don't know
here's
how
the
they're
thing.
going to accomplish that, but
It'd be cut some Mad Max for about 3 months, and then have you heard of South Africa? You see how their farming's
yeah.
going?
Well, and that's what well, and here's the thing is that's what is happening currently in South Africa. So they're literally being there's a genocide going on the people
Yeah,
out there. They're appropriating farms, and some of these people are being killed in brutal ways. Brutal
Hey,
ways. Like I saw pictures of one family where they raped the woman. They murdered. Well, they made they cut the eyelids off the husband and made him watch him rape her. And then they murdered her. They killed him and then nailed his kids to. Well, they nailed his daughter to the counter and then boiled his son alive.
well,
So the
I'll
killings
tell
are
you what-
extremely brutal.
I'll tell you what, I bet Patriot 3%er, you didn't think it'd be so dangerous to be white this year when it started, did you?
Well, I mean,
It's
that's
fucking-
what's crazy about this,
It's like,
dude.
how can something that you have no control over and has no bearing over anything you do in life be
Whoa,
the
no,
thing
no
that
shit,
determines
New York.
how people
Oh, here,
feel?
hey, but listen,
Wow, no.
but listen. Here's the thing.
Holy.
Here's the thing about all that.
Hold on.
My,
Dude, my brother in New York here just said that our Yankee got smacked over at the Chaz place. All right, here we go. All right, let me screen share this.
John Hickenlooper was held in contempt today.
Oh man, damn
The
ads!
governor
I
ignored
freaking
the
hate
subpoena
these things.
yesterday, violated the state
All right.
constitution.
Patriot 3%er, don't forget, because I know I gotta hear what you got to say.
This is the Yankee Marshal.
But welcome to my latest broadcast from the, I guess we have to say, chop down, not Chaz. But I've been walking around down here for about an hour now, and I waited till 7 to go live. But that's not the chop over there. That's actually the outside of the chop. And right over there, if you see right over my shoulder, that's where the shooting occurred, I guess last night or this morning. Haven't been able to get a lot of details out of people. People don't seem to know a whole lot. I spoke
Okay.
to one police officer.
So you got shots fired.
He said, of course, couldn't say anything, ongoing investigation. The only question he did answer, as I asked him, I said, does this seem like something that's unusual for this area? And he kind of just chuckled. No.
Whoa, shit. Okay, that must have been where he got smacked right
The
there.
red Soviet star on the hat for what they think they're saying with that. I wouldn't support that at all. Nope. Why? That's not a cop pin. That's not a.
Okay, well, shit. I guess there we go. I guess they're not as friendly as everybody keeps making it out to be.
Yo, Dangerous.
Did
Did you send a link to Sparky and Gundocs? They want to join.
I sent one to Gundocs. Sparky, I know you were going on live. You were still doing your live thing. I'll shoot you a link here really quick.
Hey, so Patriot, what were you gonna say? Because this shit is just amazing to me, dude. That somebody would.
well, here's the thing. I know, my mom and my wife both do that genealogy stuff. They have looked at our ancestry forever. The thing about us and my family, we came here to escape from over, in Germany and the bullshit that goes on over there, many years ago. And we never, nobody in my family ever owned a slave. We were never slave owners. In fact, some of my family were cotton pickers because we were poor. This is honest to God's truth. In fact, my grandpa and my grandma, we were so poor, they bought, or well, I should say they rented a fucking chicken house, a big ass chicken house, and cleaned it out. There was no longer chickens there, rented it, cleaned it out. My mom said when it snowed, snow would literally come in through the cracks of the chicken house. So there ain't no privilege in me. There is no, and I'm gonna tell you something
Well,
else.
that's like
Yeah.
my point. How could somebody ever walk up to you and say you because of the fucking
Bruce,
I know.
It's ridiculous, man.
Dude,
What the fuck does anybody know about you by looking at you? Doesn't matter
where I grew up, dude, where I grew up at, we had all ethnicities of people in our school.
Amen.
We were all friends, man. We lived out in a small community. I mean, like all my buddies, all different colors. Okay, all my buddies, man. They're older brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and my aunts and uncles, and everybody went to school together. We had some of the same teachers. Nobody. We just didn't grow up this way. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I will make this one point. I understand that it's getting dangerous for me to be white, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be very fucking dangerous for somebody to come up to me and start any bullshit like that. Because I'm not hearing it. I'm not having it. I love everybody, man. I'll treat everybody with respect and dignity until you cross me, and then, so I better be quiet before I say too much because it makes me.
just enough, brother.
Right.
Save that for backstage.
But yes, thank you for the question, Detroit. It's dude, this is ridiculous, man.
It's getting totally stupid.
It's getting crazy.
What's up,
It's just-
aircraft?
It's beyond.
Turkey.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight, man? I just came off a stream. Of course, I checked over earlier and saw y'all were watching some of the rally yourselves. So I was live streaming it. Normally, I don't like to stream on top of my friends, but man, when something like that happens,
it always happens. I mean,
yeah.
There's so many of us out here that it's like there's no way we can. Oh, I'm going to go at 6 until 7. But see, sometimes I go at like 7 and I go on till like midnight.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, hey, look, when you got the first post-coronavirus rally going on, if you're not showing it, I mean, what service are you doing to the people if you're not trying to help get the message out? Am I right?
Yep, absolutely. And that's kind of what Cheshire said. She's like, hey, why don't you just show the president's speech? And I'm like, well, I can. And so we did.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Look,
I mean, we can't get copyrighted for showing the president's speech, right?
No, you can. I got 4 copyright claims already in my inbox because, of course, during the rallies they play music.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but it's not copyright strikes or anything. I mean, when you're streaming an event, you can't really be held liable for what they do. Their license should cover you. It is what it is. I don't really care.
It sounds pretty gray what we're talking about now.
But honestly, I don't care about none of that. Let's talk about some craziness over there in Washington. I saw the video. The dude getting smacked.
Statue, right? You're not gonna talk about the statue, are you?
What statue? Which one?
They're
knocking them all down.
Well, my question is why are they removing all these statues, but the one of Vladimir Lenin still stands in Seattle?
Well, you know why. I mean, that's not a grand mystery. Okay, these people want socialism.
Maybe somebody needs to go and just pull that shit down.
No, we've got to be better. We've got to be better than them. in my
Well, it's
opinion.
funny, exactly what you say, Sparky, because I watch another live chat thing every day or whatever when I can catch it, and they floated out an idea about paying a fee to protest, covering security and this and that and everything. And I'm usually up for a good fee or whatnot, but that was one that I just couldn't get on board with. And I mean,
Saw that.
I guess my only argument was the difference is, when we have like a 2A rally in Virginia, we clean everything up and put.
Yeah.
So why charge us a fee? Now,
one thing I would
shows
love to
up.
do, and I would participate in this, is if like Matt Best and a lot of the veteran community on YouTube, if they decided, hey, let's all get up and let's go visit the Chaz. Let's go put on our Hawaiian shirts. Let's gear up and let's just go out there and let's just go have some fun. I'd be all down for that, because honestly, a bunch of professionals, military professionals going out there, we'll bring our guns, we'll bring our kits, but I guarantee you we'll never once engage that finger because, first of all, they're not going to really want to challenge a big group of veterans because they know what will happen if they do. And secondly, we have enough discipline to do it and do it with some pride, and I think it would show an example to those people who are painting up the area and writing all cops are bastards and everything else all over everything. We can show them how it's done. And
if the police, like you're saying, Sparky, if the police really stood down and the people had to step up, we would not have the same force as the cops. They would be like, holy shit, people are getting shot left and right. And it's because we're not going to take your shit.
Yeah.
We're not going to show it. I am sick and tired. I would almost prefer it at this point. I defend my own property. I defend my own family, everything, and to have to expect government to do it for me, I kiss my ass, dude. No, I'm not.
So Aircraft Sparky, can I, do you think that in this autonomous zone they've set up, they don't have 10 military veterans participating in that?
No. They do. They do have some military veterans. I mean, they have the John Brown Gun Club there. There's actually a decent amount of veterans there with the John Brown Gun Club, but they're also disciplined. They're not acting in the way that most of these basement dwelling welfare leeches are. That's the majority of the people who are there. The majority of people who are there are unemployed waste of DNA. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And they're pitching a fit because they're bored. And mommy doesn't have any extra money to give them because, mommy's been out of work because of the pandemic. So this is just them acting out. So what do you do when a child acts out? You bend them over your knee and you smack that ass.
I use the cattle prod. But Andrews has got a baton. I think all of us are going to be receiving a visit at the door tomorrow.
Hey, look, man, I got black helicopters flying over my head all the time. It's okay. Bring them. Don't do a no-knock warrant, feds. You'll get shot just as quick.
I think it's pretty darn unfortunate with what they got going on in Seattle there. I mean, is it even real, dude? How could that be? Like, can I get my cousins to lock down 2 blocks for us? Or I mean, what the?
You wouldn't see that happening because we actually love our country and we respect what it is. Personally, I think the best thing that we could do is July 4th. I'll go up to New York City when they're going to have the massive blue flu there.
Or swallowed.
when they had the blue flu over in New York, we could go out there and we could show them, hey, do you want the alternative? Because I'll guarantee you, look, I put the dick in dictator. if you really want to see how
Well, I can
bad
tell you
things
what.
can get, allow me to take over for just a minute.
If I was ever gonna make a trip, and I hate to use this as an example, it would have to be like the Million Man March thing in the Capitol, because pretty much other than that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether we do it in Virginia or New York or Cali or
No, you have to do it to where the politicians are at.
and when they're there, not like when they're in recess and gone and stuff, but while they're
like 2 or
there.
3 days in a year.
You know, one thing I wish Trump would do, and I mentioned this, I think, on my live stream Wednesday. I'd like to see the second ID get activated over there in Tacoma. Have them surround the Chaz, not allow anyone out. Make people produce, if they want to get out, they have to produce an ID showing that they're residents of that area. So meaning they're basically hostages, right? And we take them, we bring them back, and we put them in a hospital or hotel or whatever's needed. We take care of them because they're our people, they're our citizens. And everyone else who has claimed, oh well, this is not America. Guess what, fucker? Immigration. You got to pay for the background check. You got to apply. And you have, by the way, no power and no water. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Let's tax that ass.
This is, me. I'm that guy that's like, send out what we just bought all that fucking armor shit for the police department. Send those fucking dickheads in there to get that shit cleaned up.
No, because if you do it violently, the way the news is going to spin it is just going to be too bad. But if you cut off water and power and you just starve them out, the news will be like, well, this is wrong, it's immoral, blah blah blah. But if you allow all the people who are residents of that area to leave peacefully because they're victims, it's a way to spin it, Hey, you want to be a foreign country in the United States? We will treat you as such. We will cut you off in a way where you cannot survive. And then we'll make you immigrate. By the way, we're going to have to do background checks on you. And if you don't pass the background check, we'll take you to a nice little place down in Cuba. I hear they have great soccer fields.
Hey, I agree that your way is the best there, Sparky, but I would settle for. I'm just going in there and getting that shit straightened out. I mean, give me a fucking break, dude.
Well, I mean, the moment you cut power to the place,
that was my original impression too. Why don't they just cut the power and then take away the porta johns? Yeah, because I mean, seriously, what is a millennial or a Gen Z guy without their phone? No, they gotta have the man bun, Yeah, I mean, if you take away, and what would be really funny is on top of that, you block out all cell service to the area and internet. Oh, I mean, they would lose their fucking minds like instantly. I mean, you would see them hanging themselves for treason. They would be like, I can't live like this. We turned the Chaz into the third world country, the third world shithole they want. We noticed, Eric. I mean, speaking of which,
I've been saying that too.
I'd like to have you.
I've been saying that too because they declared themselves not the United, not part of the United States. And I mean, to me, you renounced your citizenship. So at that point, you should be treated as such. I felt the same way about that. Cut their asses off, man. Period.
But if we go anybody in there blazing, they'll be martyred. Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Cut them off of supplies and everything, and then
you know, and anybody that tries to give them supplies, tell them, you know, charge them with aiding and abetting a foreign, you know, enemy, because they have basically declared, you know, themselves as, you know, that we're the enemy.
That's what I think we should do, guys. I think we should put all the land into a grid. Every human being between the age of 13 and not dead yet gets a number, and everybody gets their squares, and you go to your square and you figure that shit out for yourself, and don't bother me no more. And I hope my square connects to your square.
And by the way, Minneapolis wants $55 million from the federal government because they allowed people to burn it down. Fuck them. Why should the American taxpayer pay for Minneapolis's problem?
I agree.
There's no reason that we should, but you know the reason we will.
Well, you know, I think we should under one condition. Every congressperson, governor, and mayor resigns. Then the American people will cover the expenses of Minneapolis. They will replace the qualified. Well, then they don't get the funds. Sorry.
It's not worth my money, Cheshire. Even if I know it ain't worth my money.
Yep.
Let them keep those fuckheads and burn their shit down to nothing and wallow away. I mean, I don't want to participate in every fucking state's problems.
Well, realistically, though, that's not what's going to happen. They're not going to burn it down, and everybody's just going to stay there and wallow in it. They're going to end up scattering into other states and then fucking those states up. I'm already seeing a large influx of people coming in from Minneapolis. Do you really want them all here? I don't want them in my town.
Start that whole NIMBY movement, man. Not in my backyard.
No.
You know, it's interesting. You're seeing a small group of people destroying monuments towards American history. Now, you see the tearing down of Confederate statues, and to some people that's a little controversial, because they were enemies of the Union when they left the Union. But I thought one thing,
I don't like Abraham Lincoln either. So,
well, you know, I look at it like this, and I've got kind of just looking at it in a historical way. There was calls to hang all the Confederates for treason. And one of the best things Lincoln did at that time is he said, no, America is a family, and occasionally families fight.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what the Civil War was.
Yeah.
And so all these Confederate monuments, they exist because of we
want to remember so we don't repeat it.
Actually, no.
No, that's not why.
It's the reason why these monuments exist is because these individuals actually did something great. Now, it might have not been in the Civil War, but the reason why General Lee is considered so great is the man was a tactical genius. Hands down, the South would have won had it not been for them invading the North. The war did not turn until they invaded Pennsylvania. When you saw the loss of Gettysburg, that's when you saw the tides turn. That's when the Emancipation Proclamation was drafted and then delivered. All this other stuff. It's the South was actually winning up until then, had they just defended their land.
This is the truth as I see it, as far as the statues go.
Okay.
They're either private or public property, and destruction of them is a crime, period.
You're not wrong.
I don't care what the statue is.
Absolutely.
I don't care.
Well, see,
it doesn't matter.
All these statues
are
for people who have done something.
Private property, and it's a crime.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I can't even argue with that. I couldn't even develop a coherent argument against it. But I'm also kind of a militant, capitalist. So It is what it is. But these people did great feats. They did things against the grain. And regardless of what they did in other aspects of their life, which may have been repugnant, we should recognize the great actions of those individuals. Thomas Jefferson, the guy who signed the Declaration of Independence, was a filthy slave owner. I think slavery is wrong and immoral.
Wait. So Thomas Jefferson was filthy, or the slaves were filthy?
Probably both, because he did have several children with those slaves.
Yeah,
And,
that's right. Yeah, he was down there, and
my man got dirty. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I heard that. I don't know what that is. Well, yeah, if it
God
we
intervening in
continue to hear-
dangerous
we
freedoms.
continue to hear that. I mean,
Crazy jokes.
I want to go grab the, because that can sound a little bit like gunshots. Oh, you're not interrupting anything. It's okay.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
I want to go grab the.
Wait, sorry.
We got some shenanigans going on outside, so.
I know. This one here doesn't leave.
Hey, Nikki.
Wait,
Hey, Nikki.
wait, let me turn you guys off.
Yeah,
What's going on, girl?
a lot of
Hi, what's going on?
Do
Hi,
stuff with Nikki.
Boy. Hi, Patriot.
Hey,
Hi, Sparky.
hey, Nikki. So Sparky, I got a question. You know, the statue thing. You know, first off, I absolutely agree with Detroit on, you know, I mean, destruction is destruction. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So since, you know, states have their individual rights and everything, and let's say you're in Minneapolis and there's a statue that you don't like. I mean, would you not have more of a winning hand again, you know, and have more people on your side if you said, hey, you know, let's get a petition together. Let's have the statue taken down. Now, hear me out.
Mhm.
So you do this, you get the majority of people in that town, in that city that signs it. You take the statue down. You know, now if say, let's say my town wanted to have that particular statue up, what business is it of mine to know if Minneapolis is tearing down, you know, taking down a statue or putting one up? And what business is it of theirs if we have a statue in our town? You see what I'm getting at?
Oh,
I mean, because to me,
I
that's
get you. I'm tracking.
freedom of America.
I'm smelling what
Huh?
you're stepping in, brother. I hear you. See, here's the deal. You're never going to see that because the people who are doing these actions, they don't care about the democratic process. They don't care about the republic. They don't care about any of that. What they want is power. They want to erase Americans' history so they can rewrite it in their own image, so they can do what they want to do. And everything that they have done has shown nothing more that they want to be the authoritarians that they are.
Agreed. I was just kind of asking and sort of making a point that, you know, the process. Yes.
Patriot 3%er, brother, you might be onto something here. You might need to start a business contacting these cities about purchasing these statues and being the middleman to sell them to other cities who aren't so fucking stupid that they can't appreciate a piece of art regardless of what the art represents to 13% of the people.
Well, you know, I'm really waiting on them to, because Andrew Jackson is probably my favorite president in history. So whenever they decide they want to topple the statue in Jackson Square of New Orleans, I want that statue in my front yard. My neighbors will hate me, but man,
actually, it's funny you mentioned that, Sparky, because you know they're tearing all these statues down. There are a lot of people buying smaller representations and putting them in their own yards. Yeah, you know, and it's trying to protest. You come on my property and try and remove that statue, you're gonna get full of buckshot.
Bird shot.
Nah, fuck that. Look, I'll
Buckshot.
put claymores around it. I'll put claymores around it. Fuck buckshot. We're talking ball bearings, baby.
There you go. Yeah, right. Get off my lawn.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna watch you guys. I'm gonna get back to the baby, and hopefully I'll be on time if you're doing it again next week.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, brother. You take care of that beautiful baby.
All right, Roger. It was good to see you.
It was good to see everybody. Thank you.
Love you, Roger. Talk to
Good
you
night,
soon.
Roger.
Love you all.
Stay
Stay safe.
See ya.
That's funny about he said that in his front yard because I was actually thinking about trimming my bush in the front yard, one of them, into like a.
Really?
Come on, man.
I am sorry. You just said the wrong thing to the wrong guy. Oh my god.
You kind of set yourself up for that one.
Okay, so Nikki, hi. I'm Aircraft Sparky. I tell
I
all
was gonna trim my bush into a George Washington statue. What? In my front yard.
You need to put that bush in the front yard. Woo, son.
Oh man.
Oh,
Okay,
God,
so
that's funny.
I've only got like 10 minutes left here.
See, I was being good, and you guys are getting bad.
A dirty mind is a terrible thing to
But it
waste.
feels so good.
Yeah, being bad feels so good.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. California Clinic. That's the next thing I'm going with. Oh, there's Gun Docs. But anyways, no, I've only got about 10 minutes left that I can stream live, guys. So everybody in the chat, you know,
Hey, Gundoc.
I just want to thank you all for being here. I mean, I'm glad you enjoy the content, and I see, of course, you got your comments in there. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm one included. Pros.
Happy Father's Day,
Hey,
Andrus.
Can you say the comments, Nikki?
Yeah. I did run right into that one. Yeah, I ran right into that one.
Nikki,
Nothing
you
new
walked
there.
right into that.
I'm used to it.
I joined at an interesting
There's some
time.
people in the
Hey,
there's some people in the
Yeah,
comments that know
Gundoc, you
you're going to
missed
use
it.
a weed whacker.
Yeah, I use a weed whacker. Look, when I do it right, baby.
He's a what whacker? Bush trim and weed whacker.
I
What?
swear to God, look, I'm not lying to y'all. And you're
now see it now.
Oh no, here it comes.
It's not something else.
Oh,
I actually are with you.
it's in my
You got the
garage.
best- you got the
There's my spring.
She's got the whacker
That's
out.
a weed whacker to trim that bush.
I have it in the garage. Oh my God.
Them shit's out of control, yo.
So like I do have we do have to sign out, y'all. So I guess I'll start it off and then we'll just go left to right and then down. So thank you so much for being here. This is Dangerous Freedom, aka Ron. I'm not trying to hide my identity. It's like if you want to start shit, my house would probably be the last place you would start it. But you know, I want to thank all you patriots for coming out today and showing up. So, yeah, Shire.
Yes. Good night, everybody. It was great to see you. I am hiding my identity because I'm so fucking ugly that I broke my camera and it doesn't work anymore.
Lies.
So
Yeah.
I will absolutely
Bullshit.
seduce you with my voice next weekend. Be there or be square, 8 p.m.
Blunt Man, sorry. You know what? You can watch the replay. Patriot.
Hey, everybody, all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Have a great one. Enjoy your day. Thank y'all for coming on tonight and hanging out with us. We just like to hang out and have fun on Saturday night.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, are we going down and then
Your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sparky.
Alrighty, so I'm Aircraft Sparky. You can catch me every Wednesday night on my stream. Thursday night streams on Wednesday night. In fact, last Wednesday I hosted the man over there, Gun Docs. It was a great time. We had a good conversation. Happens every Wednesday around 9 p.m. Central Standard Time That would be 10 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, that would be 7 p.m. Pacific. Figure out where you lie in between there. Come by there. Man, give me a chance to earn your subscription. We tell dad jokes. And we talk about political stuff. And, of course, America's favorite hero, Florida Man. He's not the one that we asked for, but he's probably the one we deserve.
Yep.
But, yeah,
Always do the Florida Man thing. Yep.
y'all come on by and give me a try. If you don't like it, you can always hit that unsubscribe button. But until then, hit that subscribe button and tickle that little bell icon so you can get all the notifications that YouTube will pretend to send you, telling you that I actually put something out.
Yeah, YouTube hates us all. Okay, Nikki, you got it. You've been putting out some pretty good stuff, man. Hey,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was late today, but I was finishing watching John because it got hot over there, you know. So I'm late. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah. Well, don't watch me if you don't like foul mouth gardening and other stuff. So
went armed.
I'm not very proper. And happy Father's Day to everybody. And you know, gardening because everybody likes a well-trimmed bush.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hey, you know what? Just for that plug, I have subscribed to you. This new stuff with Nikki. I hope I learn more about how to keep those unkempt bushes clean, safe, and ready to go.
God.
All right, and I'm Gundox, and I really can't follow that.
Nikki is a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. She's on fire, man. Don't let the hair fool you. She's on fire.
I got
You
your
know they got medication for that.
just enough just to say hi, but not contribute. I'll try to do better next time.
Okay.
Hey, look, just having your face on screen is thank you enough. We appreciate it, Gundog.
That's right.
Talking up way too much.
Everybody keep your head on a 360 out there.
Yep.
Watch for six,
Stay
everyone.
definitely stay frosty, and everyone, you have a good night and a happy Father's Day weekend to all the fathers out there. And we will see you next Saturday night. So everybody, take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See ya.